G'day, Jim Harnwell here. I'm out at sea off Jervis Bay. We're coming out here to go Mako shark fishing. Got a bit of whale action here in the background. We've had these whales following us around the last little while. Hopefully they'll go away soon so we can burley up for some sharks. I'm here with Phil Bolton, good buddy of mine. Phil works for New South Wales Fisheries. He's a recreational fisheries manager, and part of his job is actually a game fish tagging program, and part of that involves Mako sharks. And Phil's got some really innovative new techniques on catching and releasing sharks. As you probably know, Mako sharks are a fantastic international sport fish. Amazing fish to catch. They jump out of the water, fight really hard, get to really large sizes. But like a lot of sharks, they're under some threat from overfishing. And it's important that we as recreational fishermen practice ethical fishing, and that means catch and release. There's no need to go and kill Mako sharks anymore. So what we want to do today is show you how to catch and release Mako sharks using circle hooks. So Phil's going to explain a lot of that stuff in a little while, but what we'll do in the meantime is get the basic gear ready, show you what it is, show you how to use the burley, how to use the hooks, what sort of rigs you need, and then hopefully we'll catch a Mako and go from there. Okay, Phil, we're out a couple of miles past the shelf. We've got some really good water. There's blue bottles floating around, whales floating around. One of the key things about catching sharks, I guess, is the use of burley. You've got to actually attract them to the boat. So what have we got here, mate?
Well, that's a mince of various different fish species with tuna oil and some bread and some chicken pellets all mixed together with a bit of water and then frozen in a block. It makes it really convenient when it's frozen in a block for you to come along, put it in a mesh sack like this and put it over the side. It's a lot less messy than standing at the side and doing the traditional way where you're burleying continually, chopping fish frames up and putting them over the side. It's a real simple way of attracting sharks to the boat.
All right, well, let's deploy this guy. Just tie it off here, eh? So Phil, this is the traditional shark rig. It's a big J-style hook connected to a wire trace, and I guess for generations fishermen chasing sharks have used this sort of rig. Because of the increased need for sustainability and catch and release style fishing, things have changed a bit. Can you just run us through what's happened?
That's right, Jim. Well, there's been a lot of research recently into the use of circle hooks for fishing generally. So that's across billfish, tuna, but also in shark fishing as well. The great thing about circle hooks is they actually tend to hook the fish in the mouth. That's the best way to hook fish for releasing them. With these hooks, you're more likely to actually hook the fish in a sensitive area. When they swallow the bait, you'll hook them in a sensitive organ or in the throat, and you can cause bleeding, which can obviously increase the chance of mortality. The use of these hooks, what you actually do is when they actually swallow the bait down, this point here is actually covered slightly by the shank, so it's not exposed when it's swallowed down into the soft tissue in the throat. And when you come up tight to the fish, the hook actually works its way out of the throat and comes up into the mouth, swivels round and hooks into the side of the mouth. So it doesn't cause bleeding, it hooks it in the side of the mouth, and it's in perfect condition to release. An important point to note is when you're fishing with circle hooks, you don't need to use huge hooks. And this is a 13-0 circle hook. An important feature to look for when you're selecting your circle hooks is to go for ones that are non-offset. That means if you look in line, if you check the point goes straight in line with the shank, they're the best ones to use for releasing sharks. They're the ones that are most likely to hook in the mouth, so they're the best ones for releasing fish. So I'll show you how to rig one up now. I do a simple approach using cable ties. This is a fairly small bait. That's all we've got for today, unfortunately. An important point to note is when you're using circle hooks is you need to have the hook free and free swinging. This is really important so that you can make sure that that hook can turn around and hook in the fish's jaw. You don't want to hide it in the bait or stitch it in the bait like you would do with a traditional J hook. So I'm just using some cable ties here to make it so that the hook's really nice and free swinging. So you can use 2 or maybe 3 different cable ties to make sure that it swings really clearly. So when you actually come tight on the fish, the bait will actually come around and the hook will lock into the corner of the jaw. You don't want that bait stuck on the hook. Okay, so there you go. There you can see that this hook now can free swing all around like this So when that fish swallows the bait down, when you actually come tight on the fish, the hook will come out, the bait will come out, and when it gets to the corner of the jaw, that will turn around and it will lock in. And that will give you a really secure hook hold, and that fish will be hooked in the mouth and great for release.
What we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to put this guy out on a balloon about 40 metres back. We'll rig up another bait and put it about 20 metres back on a balloon, and then we'll have another bait and just sink it down under the boat, so we're covering out to sea and also down deep in case a shark comes up underneath. So I'll get this guy out and then we'll rig up some more baits, and hopefully we'll get a shark in our Burleigh trail. The thing with circle hooks is you don't actually strike when you hook up. What you do is you let the fish swim away, and then you just come up tight on it. Just take a bit of a run at the moment, and then hopefully that circle will come around and hook him in the jaw. If you strike at it, all you do is pull the hook out of the fish's mouth.
How you doing, Jim? You gaining?
I was gaining a little bit there. Oh, busted him. Hey, double hook up. All right. So we're just fighting my fish. Another Mako just came across behind the boat. Chris fed a bait down to him. He ate it. Chris is hooked up, I'm hooked up.
We're both hooked up.
Not sure what we're going to do when it comes to getting them in.
I think yours is bigger, Jim.
We'll worry about that later.
Yeah, he's hooked up.
What's he got? Oh no! Hey guys, it's been a pretty incredible day. This is the fourth shark that we're hooked up to. The other three, we just had some spectacular tackle failures that you wouldn't even read about. The hooks, circle hooks have worked really well, but other aspects of our tackle haven't. That just goes to show how prepared you really need to be when you're tackling large game fish. Anyway, these things happen, that's fishing.
Well done, man.
What an epic adventure.
Beautiful.
Oh,
hang on. Good, it's good.
Thanks, man. We achieved what we wanted to do, guys. Hooked up a big Mako, 130, 150 kilos, circle hook, tagged him, successful release. That shark's going to swim away, no problems whatsoever. He's not going to have J hooks inside him, so it's a healthy shark, good release. I'm shagged.